What if my husband plays poker for 2 days straight, then comes home aggressive toward me and our child, and I just leave?
Yes, that's exactly the point. You shouldn't even wait. If someone is completely drained, they can no longer live in a family. This is a sign that a person is not capable of family life. You need to live separately, treat them with kindness, and try to help them return to a healthy lifestyle. This is called setting conditions, and in this case, you're not committing any sin. You just need to treat them kindly. Don't do it with anger. Some people rush to file for divorce and even label him an enemy of society, but you're not divorcing him. You're breaking God's commandments. God gave you this person to help and guide. You also lack the energy of the sun. There are always 2 ways to solve an issue. One way is to motivate him. The other is to understand that you're a matching pair. I've never seen a husband full of solar energy while his wife is lacking, or the other way around. You're also lacking maybe by 7%, while he's missing 15%. If you replenish your 7%, it will help both of you because you share one energy system, and your children are part of it too. You'll support everyone. If you begin fasting, you'll immediately start passing energy to your husband. It will make his life easier.
Which day is better for women to fast?
If we're talking about a lack of solar energy, then Sunday is best. It's not that you have no connection with your husband, it's just that your solar energy is weak or damaged, so Sunday is the right time. This applies to everyone if the rest of you think you have enough energy. I can easily prove otherwise. I can see everything inside you. We are all damaged here. Humans need to live in nature, you see. We are children of nature. We live in enclosed spaces. There are 5 energies. Earth energy is needed to preserve them. If someone lives on the 30th floor, they lose this preservation. The energies start fading. Space energy helps absorb the others. When there's a roof over your head, that energy doesn't come in. It only enters when the sky is above you. And we mostly live under roofs. We don't go outside. That's why we lack energy. Over time, we become depleted, and this depletion leads to major problems. Cerebral palsy, autism, these are already signs of deep depletion. If a mother is energy depleted, she gives birth to a depleted child. These conditions come from a lack of energy. The energy must be replenished, otherwise even the fetus cannot develop properly. Same-sex attraction is caused by a lack of water energy. When that's missing, a person becomes hypersensitive during sexual development and can't handle contact with the opposite sex. As a result, they develop an attachment to their own sex. That's a water energy deficiency, and it's not a small one, it's very serious. This has become a major issue among children who think this way because they lack energy. The real cause of this lack is an unhealthy lifestyle. Earlier, I focused on promoting moral values, but now I tell people to sit in water, do static exercises, run, and fast. Because this is a necessity. It's demanded by life itself. If you look at yourselves, you don't even realize how deeply it affects your life. This girl in glasses, she has low water energy. That creates strong emotional sensitivity, which affects her personal life, because lack of energy always hits either personal life, health, or career. In your case, it's personal life, and you don't understand why. You think maybe you're not a match for each other. This is how relationships usually fall apart. People start thinking, maybe we're not right for each other, but you'd react the same way to any man. You see, you don't even ask when I tell you something. I could say this to anyone because it's a common problem. Is everything clear? Any questions?
Should I distance myself from my husband if he behaves badly?
You can do it, but if you don't treat him kindly, he might get upset. Distance means education, and education must always be based on kindness. If you've invested deeply in someone and they are grateful to you, then you have the right to guide them. If they're not grateful to you, if you haven't invested in the person, you don't have the right to educate them. But distance can be different. You can simply keep a little further away from the person. You can move out and live separately. It depends on the necessity, and necessity is the topic of our lecture. The boundaries of necessity are dictated by the situation. There's a rule. You are not obliged to suffer because of someone close to you. You're not a slave to the lamp. You're not obliged. For example, if he starts hitting you, live separately. If you treat him kindly and say, I'm not living apart because I don't love you, but because you're threatening my life. It should all be done with kindness. Same here. If there's a threat, live apart. If he's mentally exhausting you, say, I want to live happily, I want to live with you. But if you come and start shouting, I suffer, I can't handle it, I might end up in a mental hospital, so to protect myself, I'm living separately now, I need time to recover. Let him do what he wants. You've explained everything kindly. Now it's up to him. Either he uses his intelligence or ruins his life. We can't think for others. In the end, everyone decides how they want to live. But you should understand one thing. You don't have to suffer. That's the only boundary. You're not obligated to suffer. Love is a powerful and risky energy. We should have understood this in childhood. Even a 5-year-old can fall in love and suffer. Love is dangerous for us because we don't know how to use it properly. We have to realize this within ourselves, and if it's a dangerous energy, then we need to learn how to handle it. If you come into contact with this energy, then first of all you need to serve the person. So how to serve a woman? I mentioned 2 things yesterday. First, marry her. Second, treat her gently with care and attention. She is a person. Look into her eyes, talk to her, ask how she's doing. She doesn't feel you care if you just pass by without even saying hello or goodbye. For her, a relationship means building a very close connection. Be kind, gentle, and affectionate. For a man, the most important thing is to be appreciated as someone who can achieve something. If you've married a man, then respect him for being a man. Value his drive to succeed and overcome challenges. If you disrespect that, then why did you even marry him? What do you expect from him? If you cut off a chicken's head, it won't lay eggs. You're cutting off men's heads. You don't respect them, yet you expect them to provide money. A chicken lays eggs and it's being fed, but if you cut off its head, there will be no more problems. But then it won't lay eggs either. The system collapses. If you want financial stability, respect your husband as the head. If you don't want to respect the head, that's the root of your problem. So what does love require first and foremost? Fulfilling obligations, kindness to the person, accepting their character because everyone has their quirks. You need to accept everything, treat them kindly, and perform healing practice. If a person becomes too demanding, then to the shore of separation. This doesn't mean going to your mother's house. It simply means keeping the relationship a bit more distant, showing that there won't be a close relationship until this is fulfilled, with kindness. Saying that I don't agree with this. Sometimes a woman humiliates a man, sometimes a man humiliates a woman. I don't agree with this. Say it kindly while keeping some distance. The person changes and then movement continues. These are personal boundaries. They are determined by the actions of your loved one. But yesterday at the lecture, I told you more important things than this. I talked about how if you don't have energy, you will constantly feel that your boundaries are being violated, even at a distance. Imagine a person lacks water energy. Even at a distance, the person feels influence on themselves. How can you establish boundaries here? When there's no energy, the person becomes energetically disabled. They can't live normally. They become irritable. When a man lacks water energy, he starts yelling, arguing, getting angry, and hurting others. When a woman lacks it, she becomes oversensitive, emotional. When there's not enough air energy, the person becomes like a statue. They can't work or think. They live like a plant, cannot get up early in the morning, cannot focus, and become fidgety. If there's not enough sun energy, a person becomes pessimistic, unattractive, binge eats at night, and becomes fat. Excess weight means a lack of sun energy. Remember, excess weight always means just one thing: lack of sun energy and late night eating. If you see someone overweight, it always means the same. They're eating at night. And why? Because they lack sun energy. That's it. No other reason. And excess weight always leads to benign tumors, and once you get benign ones, malignant ones will follow. Or it can follow a different pattern, like that of viral diseases. So a woman I know, when I asked her, who usually dies, replied, if an overweight patient comes in with a high fever, that's it. No one can help because being overweight means a lack of sun energy, and without sun energy, immunity is zero, metabolism is zero, the sun controls all of that. Sun energy is restored through fasting and kind thoughts like, I wish everyone happiness. This phrase didn't appear by accident. When you sincerely wish happiness to others, your sun energy activates immediately, like in the song, Give sunshine like spring flowers, and you will see the light of its kindness will come back to you. Let's be amazed, believe in the miracles of an open heart with no holding back. No holding back, because people often hold back. They don't want to smile at each other. When we go jogging, we greet everyone with a cheerful, good morning. But people protect their hearts. They don't want to open up. Do you know what the main problem in modern society is? People don't have true friends. They have drinking buddies, smoking buddies, poker friends, womanizing friends. But real friendship should be about self-development. Imagine your friend wakes up early and asks, Did you get up early too? You'll have to wake up. If your husband tells you to wake up early, you might say no. But you can't say no to your friend. You'll have to get up.
What if my friend doesn't want to get up early?
I need a photo of your friend. She has a 20% deficiency in water energy, 5% in air energy, and 7% in sun energy. A 20% water energy deficiency is a serious problem. It's a fact. And it affects her personal life. A broken personal life often means a lack of water energy. How to help? Go swimming together. She says she doesn't like it, but you tell her it's necessary. Once she starts swimming, her subtle body will begin to recover in about 6 months. It's a slow process, but after 6 or 7 months, her life may start to improve. Air energy comes from walking and running. Sun energy comes from fasting, sunbathing, or going to a sauna.
I'm married with 2 children. The past 5 months have been a difficult time.
I can see that he was trying to save the relationship. He breaks down.
He breaks down. I can't take it anymore.
You don't need to endure it. If a person cheats, it's like living with a red-hot iron. No one can bear that. Love is based on loyalty. Without loyalty, a person's ego gets destroyed by betrayal. You simply get destroyed as a person. You need to live separately to set a condition. This is how a higher force acts on your fate.
I set a condition for him, but he doesn't see the problem. He's happy being unfaithful.
It doesn't matter whether he sees it or not. Set boundaries, live apart, give a deadline. If he still doesn't change, then it's time to end it.
I've already filed for divorce and property division. Even then, losing me and the kids didn't scare him. He thought we wouldn't leave.
You see, he thought you wouldn't leave. That's the core issue. You never taught him otherwise. You didn't step onto the shore of separation, so he fell into the illusion that you'd always stay. No matter what I do, you'll be by my side. That's how he sees it now, because you never showed him otherwise, you never taught him. You were hoping for the best.
I believed him.
The phrase "I believed" is not correct. You should only believe in God. With loved ones, trust, but verify. You need to guide your loved ones. If something starts spoiling, put it in the fridge. She says, "I believed that my porridge wouldn't spoil. I believed, but it went bad. Because it should have been kept in the fridge." Or if you reheat it, it won't spoil. Same with relationships, if you keep them warm. If not, then into the fridge. Either the shore of meeting or the shore of separation.
Is it better to end the relationship here?
That can't be decided right away. It's your choice. You should treat him kindly, set conditions, wait. It's too early to divorce. In my view, it's too early. You haven't even tried to guide him. Right now, you're emotionally overwhelmed. You can't withstand the test of fate, and emotional outbursts won't help. Live separately, set conditions, preserve your mental health, treat him kindly. Why are you nervous? Why are you shaking? You lack self-sufficiency. You're too dependent on him. But you should depend on God. That's your main life test. You need prayer and independence. Take a walk tomorrow, sit by the water, enjoy life, love people, wish everyone happiness. Go to the temple, become self-sufficient and happy. Tell him, "I love you, I'm ready to live with you, if you stay sober and faithful." He might say, "I will live that way." Then say, "I don't believe you. Let's live separately. Prove it." You must not contact her for 6 months, stay sober, and then we can get back together, or at least 3 months.
What if he lives with her?
Then it's over. It means the person is hopeless. The autopsy revealed the patient died from the autopsy.
Should I withdraw my divorce application now?
Not just withdraw it, you need to talk to him. Ask him, what don't you like? Talk to him kindly. If he says, get lost, then don't withdraw it.
He says he wants to keep the family together.
Then speak kindly. Explain what you don't like. Say, I don't believe you. I believed you before you came back, and everything stayed the same. If you want a good relationship, be honest. I'm ready to wait. If you want, I can withdraw the application. If he says withdraw it, I will change. Give him a chance. And you should understand that it's not only his fault. You didn't just separate, you slowly broke him down. If you didn't put porridge in the fridge, it's not the porridge's fault that it's spoiled. It's your fault. A person must either be kept warm or kept cool. You can't just leave someone lying around. If you're not living apart, not helping each other, and just living together, the relationship will go bad. Either the shore of meeting or the shore of separation. This is love. When you even step onto the shore of separation, it comes from love, because you value the person. So take some distance to help him change and grow. Either you're kind on the shore of meeting or you're kind on the shore of separation. But if you live together just because there's no one else, you don't serve each other in any way, not through strictness, not through support, not through love, then the relationship goes stale. It spoils. If a relationship has gone bad, it must be fixed. Unlike spoiled porridge, it can still be saved. Porridge you throw out, but relationships can be restored.
Good evening. I've been married for 40 years. We built a house, raised our children. I always took care of the family. My husband worked. Now he's retired and I've started working 2 jobs.
Why?
Well, he is not able to work anymore.
Then maybe you didn't take proper care of him. You pushed him too much.
I didn't push him. He became disabled at work.
Then you should have pulled him out of there.
I did pull him out.
You see, he's still alive. Would it be better if he died, right?
No.
Well, what? He overworked, now he's on the couch.
He goes fishing.
He relaxes by the water.
I have housework and 2 jobs.
Live separately and set a condition. The shore of separation or the shore of meeting.
He says if you set conditions, I'll die.
That's possible. Give me a photo. Let's see how much you've suffocated your guy. Sometimes a man's almost dead, but you stop just in time. Yesterday I talked about how men end up in intensive care when women want too much. Then women wonder, why is he barely breathing, this poor guy? Because he worked too much. 40 years is a long time. Pull him out kindly. You don't just pull him out, you create a healthy lifestyle, not just from work, but from the couch. Go outside, take walks, learn to swim. Learn to live a healthy lifestyle step by step. It all starts with you. There are always 3 stages in overcoming fate. First, you begin to do everything right yourself, and then gradually, he will start doing everything right too. This patient is more dead than alive. He is lacking air energy significantly. Does he smoke?
Yes.
Like a steam engine?
Yes.
He's lacking 25% of air energy. A stroke could happen at any moment. He's also severely lacking water energy. The person is completely exhausted. Wrong lifestyle. He's more dead than alive. That means that if he continues to live like this even without working, how old is he now?
64 years old.
I'm 60 years old. I run 17 kilometers in 1 hour and 50 minutes. I swim in ice holes. I fast. The day before yesterday, I fasted for 36 hours. Without any problems. I was giving lectures during this time, so I don't even feel hunger when I'm fasting. I'm 60 years old, he's 64 years old. The person is barely alive.
How to fast.
Water fasting. So he's 64 years old. Just 3 more years and he's done. With his lifestyle, he has 3 years left. If you leave him and live separately, I think he'll pass away in a year and a half.
What's causing all this?
I'm telling you that the person has been living in the wrong way. He is deeply exhausted. He lacks air energy so much that he probably has very sensitive, shallow sleep, sleeps poorly, keeps tossing and turning, right?
Yes.
He probably goes to bed late and wakes up late, right?
Yes.
He constantly watches TV, all these movies in the evenings, right?
Yes.
This is all chronic lack of air energy. A person becomes like a zombie. He needs to move himself, but instead he just watches and imitates movement. Such people need constant shooting in action movies. Something should be running there. Something must be happening. And he has an imitation of movement going on in his consciousness. It makes him feel a little better, as if he is moving himself. This imitation gives him a false feeling that his mind has calmed down, that everything is fine now.
What should I do?
Start yourself. You need prolonged continuous movement. You also lack air energy by 12%. This means your concentration and working ability are also going down. It becomes hard to work. You feel tired. You need continuous movement, sitting in water, doing static exercises, long movement, a healthy lifestyle. Constantly tell him how good it is for you to live when you do this. The first stage, you've achieved a positive habit. You yourself will enjoy living this way. When a positive habit comes, the subtle energy body knows what it needs. For most people, the subtle energy body doesn't know what it needs. A person lacks water energy, but he's afraid of water. Lacks sun energy, afraid of the sun. You say you're from Krasnodar region, you have a lot of sun. You know that heat and sun are different things. Heat takes away sun energy. What is heat? You are not under direct sunlight, you are in the shade, but it feels suffocating. At that time, your water and sun energy are burning out, and you feel suffocated. To feel well, you should be under the rising morning sun, better if you are in water. Get into the water, into a bathing pond, and sit there. Once in Moscow, right in the city center, there are such parks. In one park there was a pond, all overgrown with algae. When you step in, you sink knee-deep, and bubbles start coming up. These are always healing mud. If sun, water, and earth combine together, then healing mud is formed. So I saw it was healing water. I went in waist-deep and stood there. Nobody was swimming because bubbles were rising and it smelled of hydrogen sulfide, but that is also healing. I was standing there with my assistant. It was morning. Some old lady came. She had poor eyesight. She was looking around. We were standing about 20 meters from the shore. She kept looking and I thought I should help her. So I went, ribbit, ribbit. She got scared. I went, ribbit, ribbit again. I kept croaking like that. She got scared and left. Sun, air, and water, these are our true friends, but you don't realize it. To know it, you must feel it. Tomorrow you should come, at least to see how people swim, sit in water, croak like frogs, sing songs, and wish happiness to everyone. They run, wish happiness to everyone, get energy for the whole day, and then your mindset changes. You begin to feel how to live in the right way. You have the wrong mindset. People think that living properly means making friends with objects called gadgets. This is the best thing we have in life, gadgets. But the best things are what God created. They give us health. What man created is not the best. It may be useful, but it is not better. Of course, people have created many amazing things nowadays, very useful indeed. A small advertisement break. Let me promote gadgets a little. They have made it so that Dr. Torsunov now speaks Chinese, pure Chinese, without any accent. A wonderful artificial intelligence. We have developed a whole system. Now the lectures are also in English, in clear English. Myself, I cannot speak English so perfectly. Cool?
Yes.
Now there are lectures in Spanish, in German too, in pure language. This is how artificial intelligence works, and it is wonderful. But another big problem today is same-sex marriage. This is Down syndrome, autism, smoking, alcoholism, drugs. This is also a lack of energy. And today they are made worse by computers and gadgets, starting from early childhood. Then families collapse because there's no energy, no family, no strength to create a family, no energy. Wrong lifestyle. Start with yourself. Start with water, static exercises. Read the methodical guide and do everything. Everything is there in the guide. If you are already afraid of diseases, then we also have help. Who here is responsible for this? Who gives healthy lifestyle consultations? Young lady, go there. You can download the methodical guide on the website torsunov.cpm. There's a guide on healthy lifestyle. Download it and do everything according to the guide. Live according to the guide. Vysotsky predicted everything for you. If you're weak, straight to the coffin. To preserve health, people perform rub-downs. I present this in more detail, but the essence is briefly the same. If you don't want to live right, it means you'll die before your time. Whether you practice spiritually or not, it doesn't matter. Spiritual practice by itself does not free you from the need to live a healthy lifestyle. If you practice spirituality, are you freed from eating or not? When you pray, do you need to eat or not? Do you need to? You think not? Breatharians? Well, they also eat something, otherwise how could they be breatharians? My dears, if you pray, you still need to eat. In the same way, the subtle body feeds on the energy of nature. It consumes it, not very often, but it still needs it. You need to sit in water once a week. The subtle energy body needs this. It's prescribed in the scriptures. Priests used to do this before, but we don't do it. A person needs prolonged, continuous movement, not too often once a week. Fasting is needed once or twice a week. Static exercises, stationary position of the body should be done more often, 4 times a week. If you don't do it, then that's it. Don't just look for land for your house, also look for a small piece of land near Krasnodar, maybe 2 by 1 or 3 by 3 meters without rent. I also have a friend who selects individual stones forever. I select them not for eternity, but he does it permanently. He says, my stones with personal inscriptions and photographs last longer. That's how practical everything is. Kind Dr. Torsunov has told you everything. Now your question. You severely lack the energy of water. It affects your personal life. A 20% deficiency means 0 possibility for personal life.
Good evening, Dr. Torsunov. I wanted to ask a question on behalf of my friend. She physically cannot come here. She has a difficult situation with her husband. He's at war.
My dear, I listen to so many people, no matter where they are, in Israel, in LPR, in Ukraine. When war is happening, everything collapses. Families break, work collapses, health breaks down. Why? because that's how the energy of violence works. It simply destroys life. That's how people live when there's a war. Everything collapses for a person. Everything crumbles. That's how this war affects people. It's a terrible force. It's not even that a missile hit you, but you simply feel this energy. When the war in Israel began, I was in Israel at that time from the beginning of this war. I lived in Ashkelon, which is 7 kilometers from Gaza. But because a spiritual seminar began at that time, God took me away from there. On the very day the war began, I was already at the Dead Sea, attending this seminar. And then I saw a video where my neighbor was filming how these people were walking down the street, killing everyone around with automatic weapons. And I had left at that time because God protected me. But I felt this energy of violence. God showed me how a person's health deteriorates because there is constant danger. They live in fear, so everything falls apart.
And she's also starting to have panic attacks. And sometimes she has no strength at all.
This is a lack of air energy. It happens from fear. Prolonged continuous movement is needed. If you are under stress, then you need more water and more static exercises. When I had stress, I sat in water every day, going through the 5 layers. I was simply in despair, and my psyche was burning, and I sat in water every day, and this saved me from stress. I didn't have any disorders in my body. I just had to spend more energy on recovery. Every day in water, every day static exercises, more movement, more fasting. The psyche is tense. You need to recover. And if people are not used to this, it's difficult for them. For me to be able to run 17 kilometers, it took 2.5 years. I started training at 50 years old so that I can do this practice now. 2.5 years at 50 years old. Young guys at 35 can start running 17 kilometers in half a year. But you need to walk for 4 hours to fully cleanse the entire subtle body. 4 hours is about 21 kilometers.
Can I ask another question? Her husband has started to behave very rudely with her. She, on the contrary, wants tenderness.
Rudeness comes from a lack of sun energy, a drop in solar energy. When there is no sun, a person falls into negativity and begins to shout and get angry. Tyranny is a lack of sun energy. These are all energy problems, but people take them as philosophical problems. Imagine if I was not given food. I would get angry and think everyone is bad. But this is not a philosophical issue. It simply means the person needs food. The soul has 3 energies, the energy of eternity, knowledge, and happiness. The soul has the energy of consciousness. Consciousness has 3 spiritual energies, the energy of eternity, knowledge, and happiness. The energy of eternity acts in the subtle energy body as the energy of air or prana. The energy of knowledge acts as the energy of ojas or water. The energy of happiness acts as the energy of the sun or tejas. In the physical body, these same 3 energies, water energy is water, air energy is breathing, sun energy is food. Understand? 3 energies in the physical body, subtle energy body and spiritual, everywhere. We have 3 bodies and these 3 energies act everywhere. If a person doesn't eat, they become very angry, their mood goes bad. You know, a hungry person is ready to destroy everyone. This is a lack of sun energy. After eating, they immediately become so nice. Sun energy runs out when there is no positivity. War is going on all around, everything is being destroyed, deaths. No happiness in life, no positivity. Sun energy runs out. No happiness, sun energy runs out. A person becomes angry. As in the song, we are bandits, gangsters with pistols. We shoot, kill, steal this and that. Oh yes. Lack of sun energy makes a person a bandit gangster. He goes around shooting. Lack of sun energy. Tantrums and hysteria are a lack of water energy. When a person lives in fear, is scared of everything, panics, this is a lack of air energy. So what's the answer? Healthy lifestyle in this family. The woman should start with herself and gradually pass it on to her husband.
We play basketball.
That's not enough. That is, he lacks sun energy, basketball won't help. Fasting is needed, sauna is needed. Sun energy is not replenished by basketball.
He also likes to hide from his wife and browse porn sites.
There you go. Lack of sun energy is a lack of love energy. When there's not enough sun, a person becomes promiscuous. Promiscuity, anger, casinos, drugs, these are all a lack of sun energy. A person simply cannot live normally. They just can't, that's all. He lacks sun energy. He needs sex, lack of sun energy. That's it. I've answered your question. Let's not elaborate further on the topic. Otherwise, people come and tell me, you see, his hands are shaking, he is losing weight. And I say, he needs to eat. And they tell me, no, you see, he cannot work anymore and his eyes have become big with black circles under them. I say he needs to eat. No, Dr. Torsunov. Yes. So you need to start with yourself. She needs to walk, prolonged, continuous movement. He has enough air energy, he plays basketball, he needs to fast or go to the sauna and wish happiness to everyone. But she needs to start with herself, and then the healthy lifestyle will pass on to him. Is he advocating for a healthy lifestyle? Let him, that's right. That's all, my dear, there are too many of you. I've told you everything. Try to listen to me earlier when I give you advice. You need to understand me faster because time is passing. I gave you advice, study it and try to follow it. So what conclusion can we draw from this specific situation? Often people confuse everything. Take psychology, for example. Approximately 50, 60, 70% of psychologists work with energy problems. For example, a person is very resentful, sensitive, lacks willpower, has bad habits, and is in a bad mood. Are these psychological problems? A person gets angry, irritated, upset. Are these psychological problems? No. These are energy problems. The person lacks energy. Let's say a person is thin, their hands are shaking, they can't work, they scold everyone. Is this a psychological problem? They just need to eat, they don't eat enough. They're thin, their hands are shaking, they get angry at everyone, they shout, they need food. This is an energy problem, but people confuse it. What does this confusion lead to? We start to consider an energy problem as our second nature. For example, there's not enough water energy and a woman says, I'm naturally very sensitive. You have to treat me like this. No, you're not like that by nature. By nature, you're soft and fluffy. You're sensitive because you lack water energy. Or a man says, I'm angry by nature. Don't touch me. I'll kill everyone now. You're not angry by nature. You lack water energy. A person says, I can't get up early. I'm a night owl. You're not a night owl. We are all eagles by nature. You lack air energy. Start prolonged, continuous movement. You'll get up earlier. You'll work better. Your attention span will be sufficient. Or a man says, I can't live without women. I need to cheat on my wife. You lack sun energy. If you have enough, you'll live with your wife, and everything will be enough for you. Everything will be fine. So often people start to think that lack of energy is their second nature. A person gets used to it. Imagine someone hit their head on a wall and forgot that they need to eat. They come to a psychologist and say, my ability to work has decreased, my mood is bad, I'm losing weight, my hands are shaking. The psychologist says, you need to think more positively, wish happiness to everyone. He started doing all this, comes back and says, I feel a bit better, but I'm still losing weight, my hands are shaking, I can't work. The psychologist says, continue wishing happiness to everyone. But what does the person need? To eat. Therefore, an overly psychological perception of the world is a big problem. There are simple, basic things that people need, and all psychologists, astrologers, and priests should know that sometimes people lack water energy, air energy, or sun energy. A person should be guided towards these energies. Without them, nothing will work. For example, there was a normal family, husband and wife lived peacefully. Then a war began. He fell into negativity from the cruelty, and she fell into fear. There are 3 emotions that destroy a person. There is an emotion of despair. If a person goes into despair, it means their water energy is decreasing. If a person falls into fear, helplessness, or hopelessness, it means air energy is decreasing. If a person falls into disappointment, then sun energy is decreasing. When sun energy decreases, one starts needing women, overeating at night, going to casinos, using drugs. If there is not enough air energy, a person needs coffee, strong tea, smoking, or action movies. If water energy is lacking, one feels like drinking alcohol or eating sweets at night. Then sleep is disturbed, the person cannot fall asleep. All this is a lack of water energy. Inability to interact with people, isolation, detachment, anger in men, withdrawal and oversensitivity in women. All this is due to lack of water energy. You ask, what boundaries should I set to make life easier? You need to sit in water. What do boundaries have to do with it? Or let's say you're hungry. What boundaries should I set to feel comfortable? I want to tear everyone apart. You just need to eat. You eat and that's it, you're fine. A tiger, for example, what boundaries does it need to set in order not to tear everyone apart? When it's full, it won't touch anyone at all. It lies there, smiles, everyone takes photos with it. I once asked an employee who works with the tiger, why is your tiger so calm, smiling? The employee replied that the tiger is simply full. We feed it so well that it doesn't care about anything because it's eaten enough. Understand? Therefore, there are energy problems. Personal boundaries won't help you. You need to solve energy problems. Everyone irritates you. A woman starts changing her thinking. She thinks, my husband irritates me, so we're incompatible. She goes to an astrologer, and the astrologer will definitely help you. He will say, yes, yes, of course, you're incompatible. You know, an astrologer, if they want to, will always find incompatibility. They need to help the person find the problem, and they think that people come to them so they can find incompatibility. Of course, they will find it. Every person has some incompatibility with someone. And you come, but you simply lack water energy. You can't stand having a man nearby. You are with him and he irritates you constantly. This is a lack of water energy. You need to sit in water, do static exercises. You think, what boundaries should I set with this man to be at peace? Maybe I should even divorce him. Then you divorce, marry another one, and he irritates you again. Why? Because of lack of water energy. All men will irritate you. If lack of water energy affects your personal life, men irritate you. If the lack of water energy goes into work, then any job will irritate you. People often ask me, Dr. Torsunov, where should I work? I try one job and soon everything irritates me. Probably it's not my nature. Find me a job that matches my nature. I say, you have a lack of water energy and it goes into work, and everything will irritate you, any job. Wherever you get a job, everything will irritate you. That means a person considers the lack of energy as their second nature. Did you remember that? And you don't need to build personal boundaries here. You just need to fill yourself up and become happy. Do you know what a person feels if they are filled with water energy? You don't know? Tomorrow we'll sit in water and then I'll ask all of you. You'll all say the same thing. Complete inner calmness, a feeling of calmness. Some people are so unfamiliar with this calmness that they can't even sit normally. People who bathed in water came to my lecture so relaxed that they say, Dr. Torsunov, what should I do to listen to the lecture? I say, do nothing. You're not used to calmness. You immediately want to sleep. Too good, Dr. Torsunov. It can't be like this. This is what happens after being in water. You go through all 5 layers in water and then you feel calm the whole day. If you go through all 5 layers, then the body gets tired. The body wears out. It needs to rest afterward. But the mental body is different. I see the goal. I don't see the obstacles. Everything feels great. You can achieve any goal.
Can we cleanse the energy layers in a fast-flowing river?
No, you need to sit in still water. You can ask me many questions. A bicycle, is it good? No. You need to walk or run. An elliptical machine is fine, but not a bicycle. Because with a bicycle you pedal, but then the cycle itself moves forward. It carries you while you just sit.
How should I walk while pregnant?
Walk slowly, as if one foot rights and the other crosses out. I know one woman who had such an experience. She practiced walking for 5 energy layers before conception. She used to run for 5 layers, but when she conceived, she started walking 21 kilometers for 5 layers, and she continued until the birth of the child. In the final couple of months, she didn't walk for 5 energy layers, but just walked. What was the result? The baby was born at 2.5 kilograms, came out very easily, and then suddenly started to grow, gain weight. So that means that this child turned out to be energetically strong, not heavy, but light and energetic.
I'm like that.
I was born small, then suddenly grew and overtook everyone. This turns out to be a normal, healthy, cheerful child. The mother performs healing practices. The child also feeds on energy. They're healthy. Their brain works well. Water gives calmness. No autism. No cerebral palsy. Autism and cerebral palsy are a lack of water and air energy. Epilepsy is a lack of air and sun energy. And a lack of water and sun energy results in Down syndrome. That's it. This is all the result of a wrong lifestyle. During pregnancy, a woman should sit in cool water, about 28 degrees. Static exercises for pregnant women. The butterfly pose, feet together, knees apart, sitting with your back against a small sofa. In this way, water energy flows through the baby. Also, one can sit near trees. Even an elderly woman can sit in water, though she may not be able to do static exercises anymore. Good, you can sit near a tree, linden or maple suits for almost everyone. Sitting near a tree for 20 minutes, passive cleansing of 1 layer. If you sit for 1 hour and 40 minutes, the tree will cleanse all 5 layers for you. Prolonged continuous movement on a treadmill. Elderly people walk and fall on the street. On a treadmill, you hold on with your hands and you won't fall, you just walk. For elderly people or disabled persons, elliptical trainer, hands are supported, legs are supported. I even walk on the elliptical with eyes closed and everything is fine. Nothing shakes you. Very good thing. If a leg is paralyzed, you move with one leg in your arms and the second leg moves by itself.
How does this affect social life, for example, at work?
You lack air energy at work. You generally lack air energy. That's it, my dears. That's it. Calm down. I'm giving a lecture. So people often confuse a lack of energy with a relationship problem. This is a very common phenomenon. If you feel coldness between you, no contact, coldness, no need to go to an astrologer. This is a lack of air energy. Just walk in the park. A married couple came to me saying, we have coldness between us. We need to get divorced, astrologers told us. The word astrologers already makes me shiver. I'm already afraid of this word. I told them, you need to walk together in the park. She said, we cannot even talk. We have no connection. I said, you need to walk in the park, and while you're walking, talk. They said, Dr. Torsunov, why are you giving such simple advice? I said, just do it. They said, how is it possible? We cannot talk like this, but in the park we will talk. I said, do it. After 1 hour of walking, you will start talking. They went, walked together, and after an hour, they started talking. They filled with air energy, removed the block that was stopping them, and started talking. Their contact became very good. Now they only talk in the park. Later they will gain energy and will talk outside the park too. But first like this, or suppose you lack water energy and you irritate each other too much. Then go into a pool. After half an hour you can talk, solve everything, all questions, sit in water together and communicate. Or let's say you lack sun energy, then fast together. And when you fast, love will return again. You fast together and you'll start to feel each other, and it will become good. Your relationship will improve. But if you live properly and you say, I live properly, but my loved one lives improperly, this is called the 3 circles of fate. The first circle of fate, I just do it until it becomes a positive habit. What is a positive habit? For example, I cannot live without water. Like an addiction, I need water. When I lack water energy, I need to get in water. When I need to breathe, I breathe. When I need to drink, I drink. When I need to eat, I eat. When I need water, I go into water. When I need to run, I run. When I need to fast, I fast. I want to fast. This is called a positive habit. When a positive habit comes, the first circle of fate is overcome. You clearly feel you need it. At this time, don't torment your close one. Don't look at them thinking, I could kill you, fool. Why don't you want to walk? No. Don't push them. Just share how good you feel. They will have their own stages. For example, my wife lacked water energy. It showed in her personal life. If I said even a small wrong word, she would get upset immediately. She always needed to be alone, not disturbed. This is a lack of water energy in a woman. I didn't bother her. I just told her how good I felt in water. I developed a positive habit. I started talking about it. The second stage of overcoming fate is such conversations. You don't touch the person, just tell them how good you feel in water. When the third stage came, I was waiting for this. She asked me, will I feel good in water? I said, yes, everyone feels good in water. Don't say at that moment, I waited 2 years for you to ask this question, fool. Don't do that, just pretend you didn't hear the question. Yes, everyone feels good in water, of course. Then we went to Isikul this year for the festival. By the way, it's simply a magical place there, 1,400 meters above sea level, the sun shines brightly, very cold water. There are hot springs there, you sit in them, healing yourself right in the hot springs. Energetic trees all around, the cleanest air, such a wonderful rest. For 12 days, every day, we first got into cold water, then into hot springs, then again into cold water. The cold water was about 13 degrees in Isikul. Isikul is a lake of mineral water, just like bottled mineral water. It tastes the same, you can even drink it. On the first day, people went into the water and everyone screamed. 100 people entered, I pushed all of them in, and everyone screamed loudly. It's cold, 13 degrees.
For all 5 energy layers?
Yes, sitting in 13 degrees, we stayed there for 20 minutes. Then into hot water, 42 degrees, everyone was screaming. Also for 5 layers there, almost half an hour, then again into cold water. On the last day, I was a bit late, 10 minutes late. I arrived and they had already gone in without me, not screaming at all, just looking very happy. Dr. Torsunov, come, we are already in the water. I thought, wow, and it's all according to schedule. It means the colder the water, the less time is needed. 28 degrees, 70 minutes, 30 degrees, 80 minutes, 4 degrees, 4.5 minutes. I prefer 4 degrees, saves time and gives a very deep cleansing. Actually, the best water is an ice hole. 28 degrees isn't even real water. Water means an ice hole. There the cleansing is so powerful and such joy. You feel filled and all resentments go away. If you have a chronic resentment towards someone, you get into an ice hole for 4.5 minutes, just remembered that person, and the resentment is completely cleansed. Resentment is a lack of water energy. Everything just gets cleansed, and the resentment is gone. On a conceptual level, you may still think the person was wrong, but you don't have that burning feeling of, how could they? So you get into the ice hole, think of that person, cleanse the connection, and that's it. The matter is finished.
How long should one stay there?
You need to go to Torsunov.ru. In the materials section, there's a calculation of time for healing practices, where it shows a person sitting in water. Click there. First scale, temperature, second, time, and the third, the numbers change. And when the number is exactly 5, that's how much you need. 10 degrees, it's about 13 minutes, something like that. You need to check this scale. Soon we will have watches. Apple already has this function. There is a program called Revive. It's not yet available for sale, but when it is, you can install it on Android or Apple everywhere. For example, you go, turn on the program, and it shows you directly how the energy layers are being cleansed. You go into water, Apple measures the temperature, and the cleansing begins. You go into sauna, set the temperature and humidity, and the cleansing begins. Everything is visible in the program. You stand in the sun, mark your location, date, and if there are no clouds, it will show you how much sun is in this place and how quickly it will cleanse. But that's in the future. Now there's already water, static, and prolonged continuous movement. Soon there will be sauna. When this program is available for sale, it will include the sauna as well.
Is this your development?
Yes, everything as I see it is recorded there. Later, the program itself will identify your energy blockages and give you hints. If you oversleep, it will tell you how much your water energy has decreased. If you overeat at night, it records that and shows how much your sun energy has decreased. Then you'll go, let's say, to cheat on your wife, and it will say, "Where are you going?" Just kidding.
I always hear that when a woman doesn't love herself, a man doesn't respect her.
Yes, just more gently. A woman by nature is very social. She has basically only 2 ways of responding. If you treat her kindly and with affection, even if she is complaining or upset, but you are still gentle with her, then there is no reason to leave her. Basically, in 90% of cases, it's enough to just keep a little distance with a woman, kindly, not talk too closely. Show your calmness, kindness, but maintain distance, and she will understand everything if you do it kindly. She will think about it and understand that she is wrong. Women are simpler in one way, but more complex in another, because a woman's intelligence is activated only as a result of this emotion of tenderness, affection, and care. So if a man treats her tenderly and she becomes arrogant, then he suddenly keeps a little distance from her. He still respects her as a woman, meaning he looks at her as beautiful, as beloved. This feeling should never be removed from life. Even if your wife is behaving incorrectly, don't pay attention. Behave like this and you can keep a little distance. In general, a person should never be tense in relationships. If everything is going well, then serve, take care. If everything is going badly, keep a little distance. Always move like this in your mind, sometimes closer and sometimes further. To learn more on the subject of health and healing of the body, please make sure to read my health guide, available for download on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram page. Thank you very much, and see you soon.